Alright, in this video we're going to look at some examples from the trig derivatives lesson. Just a few quick examples applying the trigonometric derivative rules that we just learned. So the first one, part A, we've got y equals sine of x cosecant of x. And so I go ahead and I take the derivative of this, dy dx equals, and I'm going to have to apply the product rule. So I've got sine times the derivative of cosecant, which is negative cosecant cotangent, plus cosecant times the derivative of sine, which is cosine. And now I want to simplify this. And sometimes it's to my benefit when I'm simplifying these to break them back down into sines and cosines. Sometimes it's not. So let's take a look at what we've got here. We've got sine of x, and then we've got a negative cosecant, so it's negative 1 over sine of x, times cosine of x over sine of x. And cosecant is 1 over sine. And then simplifying further here, we've got dy dx equals, and we've got some cancellation going on here. We can get rid of those signs. So this turns into negative cosine over sine plus cosine over sine. And so when it's all said and done, this derivative ends up being 0. Now, this illustrates an important point that is often overlooked when we're finding derivatives. Sometimes it's to our benefit to simplify the function before we go ahead and take the derivative. If we had looked at this original function and tried to simplify it first, we would have realized that this ended up being the function y equals 1, and the derivative of that is just 0. Okay? Two different paths to the same place. Alright, let's clean away example A to give myself some space, and we'll look at example B. Alright, there we go, the magic. Alright, so here we've got cotangent of x plus 3 cosecant of x. To take the derivative of that, we're just going to apply our derivative rules. The derivative of cotangent is negative cosecant squared of x. The derivative of cosecant is negative cosecant cotangent, and that's being multiplied by a constant multiple 3, so that derivative is going to be minus 3 cosecant of x cotangent of x. And now I'm going to go ahead and factor out a negative cosecant of x, and this turns into, oh my goodness, it's like my brain imploded there for a moment. Negative cosecant of x times the quantity cosecant of x plus 3 cotangent of x. And that's going to be our derivative in part B. Alright, one more. Go ahead and clear this off again, and we'll take the derivative of cosine of x over the quantity sine of x minus 1. Now this one is going to require the use of the product rule, so I'm going to go ahead and, going to require the use of the quotient rule, and so I'm going to go ahead and use that. I've got low times the derivative of high minus high times the derivative of low all over low quantity squared. Simplifying this, I get negative sine squared of x plus sine of x minus cosine squared of x all over the quantity sine of x minus 1, quantity squared. And ideally, I'd like to simplify my numerator as much as I possibly can. If I'm paying attention, I notice that I've got a negative sine squared and a negative cosine squared. which by the Pythagorean identity, that's going to be, excuse me, -1. And so I'm going to replace that with a -1, and that gives us sine of x minus 1 as our numerator. And now I can further simplify this, and since I have matching factors, I can cancel a sine of x minus 1 out of both the numerator and the denominator to arrive at my final derivative, 1 over the quantity sine of x minus 1. Alright, so those were some quick examples. Of course, they're not comprehensive of the different ways that you're going to use these derivative rules, but now we have 6 more tools in our toolbox to add to all the basic derivative rules that we already know. Now we can start to incorporate those in taking derivatives, including trigonometric functions. Alright, that's the end of this video and the end of this lesson. See you next time. Hope you have a great day.